The Senate will come to order. Senators will be in their seats. The clerk will call the roll.
Alley, Baumgardner, Billinger, Bowers, Clays, Corson, Dietrich, Dahl, Erickson, Bagg, Falscadeau, Francisco, Gossage, Haley, Hawk, Hildebrand, Holland, Holscher, Kirshen, Cluse, Longbine, Masterson, McGinn, Olson, O'Shea, Peck, Peterson, Petty, Pittman, Kyle, Reichman, Steffen, Straub, Sullentrop, Sykes, Thompson, Tyson, Ware, Warren, Wilborn.
Senators and their guests, please rise and give prayerful attention to the senator from Shawnee, Senator Cluse.
Let's pray. Lord, one of my favorite verses is Jeremiah 29:18. So I pray this for all those in this chamber today and for my friend Cecil, who's not able to be here. You said you know the plans you have for us, plans to prosper us and not to harm us, to give us a hope and a future. Today, that hope and future is filled in your Son, Jesus, and for that, I thank you. Amen.
Please continue standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
The Senate will stand at ease. Recognizes the senator from Butler, President Masterson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Having voted on the prevailing side, I move the Senate reconsider its actions on the veto override on substitute for Senate Bill 355.
You have heard the motion. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carried. Seeing 5 hands is in order. Clerk will call the roll. Not seeing 5 hands. 1, 2. Now we're seeing 5 hands. We'll have a roll call. The clerk will call the roll. Senator from Cherokee, Senator Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. At the speed that we just moved, would you please clarify what we are voting on and what the yes and no means, please?
Yes, Senator, a yes vote is to allow a reconsider, to reopen debate on what we heard yesterday on Senate Bill 355. A no vote is, of course, against. Senator from Johnson, Senator Sykes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Could you also clarify how many votes we need to reconsider? Is it a simple majority of 21 or is it 27?
Obviously, but this, I recognize the senator from Johnson. The answer is 27. Are there any other questions before we roll call? The clerk will call the roll.
Alley. Baumgardner. Billinger. Bowers. Clays. Corson. Dietrich. Dahl. Erickson. Fagg. Faust-Godot. Francisco. Gossage. Haley. Hawk. Hildebrand. Holland. Olsher. Kirshen. Cluse. Longbine. Masterson. McGinn. Olson. O'Shea. Peck. Peterson. Petty. Pittman. Kyle. Reichman. Steffen. Straub. Sullentrop. Sykes. Thompson. Tyson. Ware. Warren. Wilborn.
Has every senator had an opportunity to vote? The senator from Miami, Senator Baumgardner.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Vice President. I ask that we stand at ease and we wait for our colleague to be able to be here. I don't think we need to go into too much explanation, but as a mother with an infant, I think she deserves that courtesy.
It is granted. Thank you.
I vote no. Thank you, Mr. Vice
Thank you.
President.
It is recorded. We now at ease. Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Could we get a preliminary vote count?
The preliminary count that I have right now is 27 yea, 11 nay. The chair recognizes the senator from Shawnee, Senator O'Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I vote yes.
Has every senator had an opportunity to vote? Does any senator wish to explain their vote? Does any senator wish to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. "28 in favor, 11 against. The motion carries. Chair recognizes the senator from Butler, President Masterson, to restate the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. And just to be clear, this is a restatement since that's what we're on. But the veto message of the governor having been read, I move substitute for Senate Bill 355 be passed, notwithstanding the governor's veto.
You have heard the motion. Are there any questions? We are ready for final action. The clerk will call the roll.
Ellie. Baumgardner. Billinger. Bowers, Clays, Corson, Dietrich, Dahl, Erickson, Fag, Voscato, Francisco, Gossage, Haley, Hawk, Hildebrand, Holland, Holscher, Urshan, Cluse, Longbine, Masterson, McGinn, Olson, O'Shea, Peck, Peterson, Petty, Pittman, Pyle, Reichman, Steffen, Straub, Sullentrop, Sykes, Thompson, Tyson, Ware, Warren, Wilborn.
Has every senator had the opportunity to vote? Does any senator wish to explain their vote? The chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Sykes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I will explain my vote. I vote no, and I think several people realized yesterday I was frustrated with the games that were played, and we see what happens when you get 24 hours and you get to make some backroom deals to get your way. And again, I am disappointed in this chamber and in the leadership on the other side of the aisle. And I don't need my remarks read on the journal.
The chair recognizes the senator from Reno, Senator Steffen.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Big First has a long, proud history as the rural agricultural district of Kansas. 10 years ago, redistricting brought us liberal Manhattan. Now they're dumping the Lawrence liberals in our lap. Just like illegal hunting killed off our buffalo in the 1800s, insidious redistricting will kill off the true conservative character of my beloved Big First. And yes, I would be grateful if you would spread these words.
So granted. Senator from Barton, Senator Straub.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. With his permission, I would like to join in the comments of the senator from Reno, Senator Steffen. And also, I just might add my own 2 cents. I've never stood for anything really that our current governor has stood for. And what I do stand for is freedom, and freedom over fear. So today, this is not about standing with the governor. This is standing for freedom. Thank you.
Would you like your words added to the message?
Yes, please.
Duly noted. The chair recognizes the senator from Douglas, Senator Francisco.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I appreciate all the constituents in my district, many of them who live in Lawrence. They didn't ask for this, but they are good citizens nonetheless. I would welcome a welcome for them.
Thank you. Would you like your words spread across the journal?
No, thank you.
The chair recognizes the good senator from Wyandotte, Senator Haley.
Thank you, my friend, Mr. Vice President. I vote, as we voted yesterday, to do the best we can to keep the districts and the values of congressional representation clearly represented, be they rural, be they urban, in our congressional districts. Mr. Vice President, I represent an urban district. We have no desire to become more rural, and the division that is in this map at Astra clearly takes the values of an inclusive, broader community into a more rural, homogenized, if you will, spectrum in our state, and does not speak for the concept of democracy at the congressional representation that we would all like to see. Why we are backtracking today has been stated already, and I hope that whomever got them to change their mind will get what it is they bargained for, in that it lends discredit to this process, and it lends a mixing of values, be they suburban, rural, and urban, melded into one that is not reflective of all the voices in our state. I do not wish my remarks to be on the journal. They were from my heart, so I didn't write them down anyway.
Excuse me, the chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Holster.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was not able to be here yesterday, but I'm here today. My vote is the same as it would have been yesterday. My vote is no. This map is a travesty. It knowingly breaks many guidelines that are in place for redistricting. It does not serve the people. When we do things like this, democracy dies a little bit. Thank you.
Would you like your words spread across the journal? So noted. Are there other comments, explanation of votes? Does any senator want to change their votes? The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. "27 in favor, 11 against, a 2/3 constitutional majority having voted in favor of overriding the governor's veto on Senate Bill 355. The motion prevails and the bill passes. Introduction of bills and concurrent resolutions, the clerk will read.
Senate Bill 440 by Committee on Public Health and Welfare, an act concerning health and health professionals. Senate Bill 441 by Committee on Public Health and Welfare, an act enacting the Biological Laboratory Accident Transparency Act. Senate Bill 442 by Committee on Public Health and Welfare, an act concerning mobile communication devices. Senate Bill 443 by Committee on Ways and Means, an act making and concerning appropriations for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022 for the Department of Administration. Senate Bill 444 by Committee on Ways and Means, an act making and concerning appropriations for the fiscal years ending June 30th, 2022, June 30th, 2023, June 30th, 2024, and June 30th, 2025 for state agencies. Senate Bill 445 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning elections. Senate Bill 446 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning roads and highways. Senate Bill 447 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning roads and highways. Senate Bill 448 by Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance, an act concerning insurance. Senate Bill 449 by Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance, an act concerning insurance. Senate Bill 450 by Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance, an act concerning the disposition of state real property. Senate Bill 451 by Committee on Agriculture and Natural Resources, an act concerning wildlife and parks. Senate Bill 452 by Committee on Education, an act concerning education. Senate Bill 453 by Committee on Public Health and Welfare, an act concerning adult care homes. Senate Bill 454 by Committee on Public Health and Welfare, an act concerning health professions and practices. Senate Bill 455 by Committee on Education, an act concerning education. Senate Bill 456 by Committee on Education, an act concerning the Teachers Service Scholarship Program. Senate Bill 457 by Committee on Judiciary, an act concerning crimes, punishment, and criminal procedure. Senate Bill 458 by Committee on Transparency and Ethics, an act concerning elections. Senate Bill 459 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning motor vehicles. Senate Bill 460 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning children and minors. Senate Bill 461 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning transportation. Senate Bill 462 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning taxation. Senate Bill 463 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning sales and compensating use tax. Senate Bill 464 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning property taxation. Senate Concurrent Resolution 1619 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, a concurrent resolution urging the Legislature to adopt the conclusions and recommendations of the 2021 Special Committee on Taxation regarding the fiscal future of Kansas.
This constitutes introduction of Senate Bill 440 through Senate Bill 464 and Senate Concurrent Resolution 1619. Reports of standing committees, the clerk will read.
Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends SB 331 be passed. Senator Longbine, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends SB 335 be passed. Senator Longbine, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends SB 336 be passed. Senator Longbine, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends Senate Bill 392 be passed. Senator Longbine, chairperson.
At this time, I'm referring Senate Bill 448 to the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance. Before recessing, are there announcements? Yes, the chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We haven't had all the committee reports read in. Is that something we can stand at ease for while they get those turned in?
We will finish announcements and then we'll.
Thank you.
Just for clarification, we plan to recess, allow the bills to be read in, and then we'll come back after recess. The chair recognizes the majority leader from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Republicans will break to caucus on Senate Bill 347 in room 548. And this time I yield to the good senator from Douglas, Senator Francisco.
Yes, the chair recognizes the senator from Douglas, Senator Francisco.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Senate Democrats will caucus upon recess in our regular room, 287 North. I yield back to the senator from Cali.
The chair recognizes the senator from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the Senate recess to the sound of the gavel.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The Senate is recessed. Messages from the House, the clerk will read.
Announcing passage of SB 347 as amended by House Sub for SB 347.
Introduction of bills and concurrent resolutions. The clerk will read.
Senate Bill 465 by Senator Holscher, an act concerning crimes, punishment, and criminal procedure. Senate Bill 466 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning public health.
This constitutes the introduction of Senate Bill 465 through Senate Bill 466. Reports of standing committees, the clerk will read.
Mr. President, the Committee on Judiciary recommends HB 2361 be amended by substituting a new bill to be designated as Senate substitute for House Bill 2361, and the substitute bill be passed. Senator Warren, chairperson.
Are there announcements? Seeing none, the chair recognizes the majority leader from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the Senate adjourn until 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday, February 9th, 2022.
You have heard the motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion carried. The Senate is adjourned.